Is
Hi, Christine.
probably meaning that you're uh, building memories with your family.
Probably.
Yeah,
Um,
those 10 hours riding together.
it's different, you know. I mean, the conversation as the year goes by, so when you're traveling, it
Mm,
definitely changes, you know. I mean, so you're stuck in a car for 10 hours with a bunch of kids back then.
mm, mm,
It
mm,
could get
mm.
annoying. Kids fighting, arguing, yada yada yada. But now that they're older, it's two different kind of dynamics when you're traveling on vacation, you know.
Mm,
Um, especially if you're driving.
mm.
So it's either one, you have kids, like I said, that are just a pain in the ass, always complaining, crying, arguing with each other. These are younger kids. But now, as teenagers, it's either one, there's just kind of like an interesting, argumentative conversation, or
Yeah,
two, they just ignore each other.
I love how the teenagers, well, kids. I mean, my son's not teenager yet, but I love it when he's like trying to test his logic,
Right,
his
right,
thinking skills.
right,
You
right.
know.
It's funny, and you find out about it a lot when, especially if you're stuck together, like for example on a dining table or vacationing in the car, you know. So
Mm-mm.
yesterday the drive was, it was interesting, you know. My son pretty much slept the whole, real quick, this is my son's logic on like being able to sleep in the car, right?
You're not
And
about to throw him under the bus, are you?
the night before we're about to leave, he decides not to sleep at all. So he decides, I'm just gonna stay up all night so
Yeah.
I can sleep in the car.
I don't want to have to talk to these people.
In hindsight, good morning. Just, so, somebody just
It's
walked
normal.
by. I
It's
just, I
normal.
said no, I just had to say good morning. I didn't want to
Yeah.
be rude. No, but in hindsight, it was actually a good idea because my son was like passed out half the trip, you know. So there wasn't a lot of commenting from all the way in the third row. Because when those two have a conversation, sometimes, like I said, it could get very combative.
Between your son and the sister, or your
Yeah,
son
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
mom?
No, the son and the sister.
Mm,
Yeah. So I was like, okay, you know, that was his logic of being able to sleep in the car, and it actually worked out. And he said it makes the trip go faster, which makes sense.
nice.
You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if there's a guest that like calls up front desk and complains and like, I hate to bother you guys, but there's this guy that's doing a podcast in the middle of the hallway right now.
That's actually something that I'm expecting right now. I'm like, I have a pretty good vantage point of the hallway that leads to the front desk. So if I see somebody walking towards me that just won't keep his eye away from me, then I
Yeah,
know
like
I gotta pack up. All right.
and he's holding on like to a bunch of keys.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Yeah, we're gonna have to check you guys out.
Yeah.
My family's still sleeping upstairs. If you don't mind,
Ay, nako. I learned of
I'm
another
actually
word.
putting the key where it's visible.
You know how they're saying there's going to be like a Karen that'll come up to you and start complaining, like,
Right.
"Excuse me, sir, like you should be, going back to the Philippines and not doing a podcast here."
Right.
Like that, they call that a Karen, right? And
Yeah.
then would it be a Ken if it was a guy?
I
Okay,
don't,
not
I don't know.
okay, but I heard of another one. There's a Becky. Have you heard of a Becky?
Of a Becky?
Uh,
No, I've never heard of that. What is that?
like a girl boss. A girl that always
Oh,
like
shut the
like
front door. Really?
shows off her. Well, this is my replacement for today's
Right.
millennial word of the day.
All right.
But from what I heard, actually from Rich, I think it was from Rich Cooper, some another online, like on the manosphere section of YouTube, something about like girl bosses that are like sort of always like showing that they can stand up for themselves
Showing they're always in charge.
because they're always in charge, and that they can't be bossed around by basically a feminist. He call it a they call he calls
Okay.
it a
Right.
Becky. But here in the Philippines, if somebody calls you a Becky, oh sis, anong Becky?
Bakla.
Bakla.
Doon ano, Millennial of the Day, Bogs.
Ano daw? Ano daw? Ano?
Bugs.
Ano yung bogs?
Anong
Mil
bogs?
that's, "Ang ganda mo today, Bugs."
Bo-
Bugs, parang gano'n. Bog.
Oh my God.
eh, Tagalog naman yan. We should
No,
have a
Bugs
Becky
in
word of the day
English.
also is what we're getting
Kailangan
at.
English, di
Bog,
ba? Para
yeah,
maintindihan.
Gen Z.
Bogs? Di ko alam yun ah.
Oh, search mo.
Bago yun ah. Bogs
Bogs.
daw. Millennial word of the day,
You learn
bogs.
something every. I'm trying to like rearrange this thing so it's right here.
Sige, you try to figure that out. I wanted to share something else while we were at the topic about
Right.
like long drives.
Right.
I'm hoping that you could see a little bit of this because last night, Tin and I wait before I even get to the vlog part.
Hmm.
Upo ko dun ah.
My philosophy was about you remember Survivor? No,
Yeah.
not Survivor. No, not Survivor. Do you remember?
The TV show Survivor?
No. That other TV show that's The Amazing Race. Are you familiar with that? I'm sure you are.
Yes, I've seen it.
So I don't know if it's out openly like the thesis of this show or basta parang the dynamics of this show was basically like because you know how they would sell the whole idea that I'm father and son or we're best friends since high school or we're mother and son or whatever the relationship is. Parang they build up that
Right.
relationship to tell us what that relationship is all about, that they can
Right.
stand the test of time
Right.
and any kind of challenge, which is what the Amazing Race apparently is all about. Because the Amazing
Supposedly.
Race, as it turns out, puts your relationship to the test. So,
Right.
not having an Amazing Race here in the Philippines, one of the ways that we sort of test ourselves with my girlfriend and I is, we take on these sort of long distance trips, couple of
Right.
hours,
Right.
joyride kind of thing.
Right.
But more recently, last night, after maybe a 3, 4, 5, 6 month sort of hiatus from our long from what we do, or sometimes deliveries, we're on the road for 3, 4, 5. I think we've done 8 hours. You can't really make a lot of money if you don't do 8 hours. But if
Right.
we do like 4, 5, 6 hours on the road,
Right.
delivering
Foods and
goods,
stuff.
food and stuff, so it kind of puts our little. You should change like the little title here to